Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and content that some listeners may find not pre-scripted. Not that any of our podcasts are pre-scripted, but we normally have notes. And today we have no notes.
No notes at all.
You know what other times we've done no notes podcasts? When we created superheroes. And you know how well those episodes did?
Very poorly.
Yeah, they bombed.
Yeah, I've seen the numbers.
No numbers.
Welcome to Seesaw Podcast.
With your hosts, T, Cleaves, and Selina.
Every week, bringing some much-needed balance and humour to brighten up what can sometimes be a dark, disabled world.
Welcome back to Seesaw Podcast, the disappointing sneeze from a ketchup bottle that is podcasts.
It's more of a fart from the ketchup bottle, I would argue.
Like fart, sneeze. I said sneeze because it's a bit wet, but we don't need to go into any more detail about the alternative.
I've not really heard anyone sneeze like that, but I kind of see where you're coming from.
The ketchup is the bogus.
Especially that green ketchup that they had in the 90s.
Which I'm sure you saw, Selina.
I don't even remember any green ketchup. And I could see back then. But
it was the same as red ketchup, but green.
Yep, tasted exactly the same. I actually knew someone who wouldn't eat green ketchup because they said that it looked disgusting. That's like, it's just ketchup with food colouring, mate. So, before we kick off into this unscripted fiasco, let's do the usual. What are we wearing? And I'm going to throw the Cleaves.
Black t-shirt with an Etnis logo on, blue jeans, shorts. I'm just going to go the usual from now on.
The usual, just different colours.
I am wearing a Levi t-shirt with some kind of flowery pattern and blue jeggings.
What?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I've not walked Friday yet. We're recording. Well, we're not recording earlier than usual. To be fair, yeah, normally I am in my pajamas by now. So, I'm a changed woman.
Well, hopefully not.
Pre-changed woman.
And I'm wearing a white t-shirt with some sort of red logo on it. I don't know what it is. And maroon shorts.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well,
I was
interesting.
Fashion. Like when Tony says what he's wearing. Great.
What's wrong with maroon shorts?
It's just, I love how like mixed / backhanded it is every time.
I can't believe I'm taking fashion advice from a blind woman.
And yet,
I'm very insecure about the whole thing. I'm going to say a tuxedo from this point.
That'd be weird as well.
Maroon in colour?
Yeah. A maroon tuxedo. Okay, before we jump into this ketchup explosion of deliciousness, do we have any QBN?
I told you, no, I came with nothing here.
Selina?
No. Because it'll only get cut out and put into short stories, so...
How dare you? This episode, it might not, depending on how...
Oh, sorry, there's Riley barking, as I said he would.
So unprofessional.
There we go, guest appearance.
With me. I am just going to close the bedroom door now.
I thought there was a dog with you.
Terrible.
Dad jokes. I've been around him a lot, so... It rubs off.
Okay, I'm good to continue.
Well, I do have some QBN. Excellent. So, Apple the App, I believe that's how it's pronounced, of Black Eyed Peas fame, fellow nystagmus sufferer, is currently on Celebrity MasterChef in the US, and controversially got through a round by doing a baked potato.
Okay.
What's it got to do with this site?
I have no idea. I didn't read into... Stop asking questions.
There's Apple the App?
Yeah.
I have no further questions on that. Selina?
I'm not going to bother asking questions.
Oh. No, I meant news. Have you got any news?
I've got no news.
Well, we have non-quick, but also blind update news, and I think we'll jump into that.
I mean, you've got other disability news.
No.
You got any
Not
QDN?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the topic of the episode is just catching up on the last couple of weeks.
And that QDN thing would make a lot of sense if I hadn't already cut it from the previous episode.
I think it was the BSL thing. You did that.
No, I didn't cut that. I just bleeped it.
Yeah.
I can do some of that BSL right now.
I'm not going to... No.
Okay, let me bring the segment in.
Bullshit.
It's about time for a Seesaw Ketchup.
A chance for us to share what we've been up to outside of the Seesaw universe.
So put your feet up, relax, and get to know your friendly neighbourhood Seesaw crew just a little better.
You're just making more editing for yourself.
No.
Okay, so it's been a few weeks since you looked at me, and also since we spoke to each other. And a lot's happened. I think to start off with, let's do an IBSA World Games update. So this is when we pass to our sport correspondent, Selina.
Well, T, you said that you would be following the games last time we spoke.
Yep.
Now, I said at the time that was bullshit.
Right.
Would you like to tell me the games that you watched/followed?
I watched England-Japan, the opening game.
What was the score?
It was 5-0.
Was it,
He's
Selena?
right. He's right. But he has to have watched the worst game. I mean, why did you not continue watching?
Well, that was kind of the thing. Like, after I saw you lovely ladies get annihilated by the Japanese, I was like, can't have my heart broken.
Well, you should have carried on watching because it was a tough start to the games for England. I came on in the second half of the game.
Was that when the 5 goals were scored against you?
We were 4-0 down at the point
fair.
I came on.
Right.
So just the 1 goal scored when I was on the pitch. And then following that, we then had a lot of draws. We drew against Morocco 0-0. We drew against Sweden 0-0. And then we went into the 7th, 8th playoff against Germany. We also drew 0-0 and then lost on penalties, as you do to Germany.
Man.
So
I don't want to be that guy, but all I took from that is that England scored no goals in the IBSA World Cup, World Games.
The English women, we struggled to find the back of the net, but it is really difficult to score in blind football. I mean, there's a sighted goalkeeper, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Don't tell Japan that.
Yeah.
There's a sighted goalkeeper.
Yeah.
That didn't come up in the episode.
No, what the hell's going on? What? I thought the goalkeeper was blind stuff. How does this work?
No. The goalkeeper is sighted and also like a guide to help you on the pitch.
Oh.
I would prefer it if it was a blind goalkeeper and they were on one of those foosball sticks controlled by fully sighted people and they just spin them.
How would they be attached?
Just side to side, just give them a spin.
You can't. How are you going to put that through the person?
I guess you'd put their arms right, like at the sides to make like a little V, and then put the the pole through their arm slots. Like if they put their hands on their hips, you know what I mean, but then push their arms back a little bit. There you go.
A lot of electrical tape.
Interesting
you're just
concept.
going to gaffer tape them to it, are you?
Well, they can't
Better
move.
cable ties, I guess.
Well, I think for the first, it's a new team. So I think to get all those draws against established teams, I think is really a good win to take.
We were unlucky, to be honest. We could have made it to the semi-finals. We only lost out on goal difference. It was that tough start that did us, to be honest. We weren't the only teams drawing. So we did finish in our group on the same amount of points as Morocco and Sweden, but it was the goal difference that did us.
And who got to the final and who won?
So it was a Japan-Argentina final.
Oh, at least you lost to someone in the final. Go on.
Yeah, exactly. And Argentina won 2-1.
Oh, that's not bad going then, really.
And Argentina also won the men's competition as well. So they are the king and queens of blind football.
For now. I want a Rocky IV-esque training montage from all the blind cricket players. Not cricket, football.
Cricket as well, why not?
And cricket as well, yes.
Talking of cricket, I met Luke Sugg.
Oh, did you?
Ah.
I did.
That's cool.
listen to the previous episode if people don't know what we're on about, although they should, if you want to find out about blind cricket. But yeah.
It's a Ketchup. It doesn't have to make sense. Was he? Did he say hi? Did he? Yeah, was
I
it
did.
Good to have a good
I
little
did.
chat.
So I went down to watch some blind cricket after I finished competing. And he happened to be there. My husband noticed his name on the back of his shirt. Obviously I wouldn't have been able to locate him. I said hi, and it was, he brought up that he hit T in the face with a ball. He was pleased to share that information again. So
Yep. I still have the mental scars of that.
Don't worry. I imagine T's used to being hit in the face with balls.
Okay. So
They don't get better, they just get more frequent.
yeah.
But talking of other balls, like tennis. So when I went to watch the blind cricket, it was a bit weird. So like Luke Sugg was like to my right, and then I went to say hi to him, and then literally someone in front of me was talking about Naki playing in the tennis. It's like, this is odd.
Was Naki there as well then?
Yeah, Naki was competing in the tennis for
Oh, that's
Pakistan.
cool.
And I have tried looking
what?
up the results. I know,
Damn
I
it.
think
You should be
for
playing
us.
for England now, damn it.
I know. I thought that.
Unacceptable.
I don't know how he did. I kind of think he did well, but I have to say the results website for Ipso was terrible. Just can't figure it out.
Yeah, I totally had that problem also.
Yeah.
That's why you have no idea about what happened, right?
Sure. In my defense, I never said I would follow it.
I
kinda
followed
wish I
one
had.
game, which is more than you expected me to do.
Yeah, it is actually, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still not what you said you would do.
No. But I will contest that the IBSA website is quite bad, like in finding results. I could find out that Pakistan won the men's cricket beating India,
Damn it.
Mhm.
but pretty much anything else is near impossible to find. They're very happy about the finals, and you can find info on that. But there's no sort of running schedule with scores.
They need like a social media correspondent giving out all of the results. Wait, hang on a second. Don't we know someone that does exactly that sort of thing? You know, statistics in sports?
I think we do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like someone's maybe like a partner or someone I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Just not social media, mate.
Well,
But no, it was lacking Ipso on that front, I have to say. It's a bit disappointing.
but how was the event in general? Because you were there, obviously.
So the football started on the 14th of August, which was before the main game started on the 18th of August. So it's just all the footballers in the athlete village to start off with, aka the Birmingham Uni student campus. But it was good, actually. I liked it. You know, got a double bed in my room, had my own room.
Nice.
And the canteen, the food, good selection, to be fair. Some days better than others, but there was a lot of choice for food, catering for all dietary requirements. So give them a thumbs up for that. Although I did ask some of my partially sighted colleagues about when we were at dinner, like the signage and stuff. And apparently the signs were like really tiny. So that was a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
Could have made a bit more of an effort being a blind World Games about little things like that. But it was organised. It was well organised, getting the minibuses to the football pitch, and we had our own changing room as England, like host privileges. So I can't complain about any of that.
And what was it like at night? And you know, just what was night life? Night life like? I'll get there.
Well, we
You know,
had
but-
we were in student halls, so we had like our own living room for our team. So like the Lionesses, we were on the 3rd floor or 2nd floor. I don't know, one of the floors. So we had like a projector screen there, and we could like watch other games. We had some quizzes. We did some like bring some stuff from where we live and shared food. And we had like in our apartment like block. We also had the B1 football guys and the partially sighted football guys. So that was quite nice. Be all together.
It sounds quite wholesome.
I mean,
Would you
we
say
were
that
there
was the
to do a
case?
sport. We're not there to party.
Yeah, but you know, after you crashed out, then what? Party time.
Yeah. It
We're
is the way to
elite
do it.
athletes.
Yeah, sorry.
Premium athletes.
Went wild and had a dessert after the games were over.
Woohoo! What kind?
Chocolate orange mousse, but I should have gone for the dark chocolate mousse.
Wow.
I like how your one takeaway of going wild was a disappointing dessert.
Yeah.
I think we have to cap the Emerson World Games with that then.
Disappointing dessert.
Disappointed with a dessert choice. Love it. Absolutely love it.
You know, I've had both.
No, they were very strict. Like, you couldn't go around twice either, like on the food. You got a little token and you couldn't go around again.
Well, well done to all the athletes from Seesaw. It's always competitive. And although we might not have got the results we wanted in various areas and Naki betrayed us, it's still valuable experience. And I see great things, especially for the women's VI football going forwards. You're a new team, essentially. You've only been going for a couple of years. It takes time. And playing against other teams, like national teams, is really valuable experience, even if you're not getting the results that you might want. There's no better training than actually playing those players.
I mean, the other Lionesses couldn't beat Spain, so don't worry about it.
Yes. And I was in Spain when they were defeated. That was fun.
Do Spaniards follow women's football?
Yes.
Okay.
The pub was packed. It was a very busy Irish bar in Spain.
No, so not packed with Spaniards and packed.
Oh, there was a lot of
English
Spaniards
people.
there.
Right, okay.
Yeah. It was the only place showing football.
When you
So
win,
tell us
you
about
kiss everyone
Spain.
on the list. You are? Say that again.
Don't get controversial because say, so tell us about Spain.
Oh yeah, tell us about Spain. Did
Yes.
you go around kissing women on the lips?
So I have been in Spain for a week. I was in Menorca.
Oh, that's not Spain. Oh, for God's sake.
It absolutely
It's
is
definitely
Spain.
kind of Spain. That's the one that's not on fire, right?
It's the
Yeah.
Balearic Islands or whatever. The Balearics.
Yes, but it's still Spain.
It's not Spain. It's not mainland Spain. Oops.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spain Island.
It's a Spanish island where everyone speaks
But no one
Spanish.
says I've gone to Spain when they've gone to Menorca or Mallorca.
Well, I am.
Okay, you went to
Apparently
Half a
Menorca.
date.
Apparently, it's the semantics episode.
Anyway, it was very hot. I noticed that they gave zero fucks about a long game. It was next to useless. People just did not pay attention to it or acknowledge it in any way. Generally, the accessibility was pretty shocking. The people were lovely, but they didn't give a shit about disability.
That's because it wasn't mainland Spain. You were on a little island.
Pardon me.
Disability hasn't got there yet.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think accessibility should be worldwide and standardized.
No.
No, it's like going to the Scilly Isles or something. Like, you don't expect accessibility to be there.
Well,
What makes them silly?
What?
Nothing. Let's carry on.
on the negative side, though, I came back deaf. So I currently can't hear shit.
Hang
And
on, I've got another question before we hear about your hearing loss.
Okay.
Did you have a sunflower lanyard when you went through the airport?
Man, you travelled
Why
with
not?
Heathrow as well. You could have got in real quick.
Because I don't have one.
No, you get them there.
Get them
I know
there,
you
yeah.
weren't there for that episode, but God, have you not listened back?
No. There was a group of 15 of us, and I didn't deviate from the group, so we were treated as a large group, which was fun. Also,
in inverted commas.
EasyJet. I know it's a budget airline, but give me some fucking leg room.
So
I felt like my knees were at the back of the front of the guy in front.
Yeah, you're only going to, again, in quotation marks, Spain.
Yeah, but EasyJet, get better, please.
Why? It's not a long haul flight, is it? What's Menorca like?
2 hours?
2 hours? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's still uncomfortable. Still hurt my knees.
Grow shorter legs.
Yeah.
Grow shorter legs.
Okay,
None of that made sense.
well, unfortunately, Menorca isn't accessible for people with short legs. There's a lot of steps. Anyhow, I came back deaf. I usually have hearing issues when I fly, and swimming pools don't help that. I try to be very careful, but currently I have probably 20% hearing in one ear, and the other one completely gone.
I think that's ambitious.
I didn't hear that at all.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You're full of shit.
And no, we are not transcribing the episode. I will have my hearing back by then. I hope.
How does it feel having dual sensory loss?
It sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Yeah, gonna tell everyone how you lost your hearing then? Or was it it wasn't down to the flight, was it?
It wasn't down to the flight, no.
Did you fall in the swimming pool?
I was in the swimming pool, but I didn't fall in. I'm very aware of going underwater in the swimming pool. It usually triggers a lot of it. So I was being very careful. And then my younger brother decided to be slightly intoxicated and barrel roll me under the water without my prior consent or knowledge, which fucks my ears, basically.
With hilarious consequences.
Ironically, not the worst thing to happen on that holiday. We had a child and the same brother who barrel rolled me both go to doctors and or hospitals. They are fine, but my younger brother learnt the lesson of if you swan dive into not a very deep pool without using your arms, bad things will happen, like hitting the bottom of the pool with your face. Yes. But everyone's fine. Everyone's fine.
How are your ears being treated?
I'm currently just using ear drops, but they have not been effective, so it's going to be a GP visit at this point. It's getting to be quite the annoyance, not being able to hear.
Anything else about Spain?
Menorca.
Yeah, sorry, wasn't even Spain, was it? What am I on about? It's because you kept saying Spain. You tricked me into thinking it.
I'm not going to tell you about the train I went on. That wasn't technically a train then.
It was a land train.
It was a land train, which all trains are, apart from the Shuttle Tunnel.
Well, that's not technically true. Because I took a train from Berlin to Gothenburg in Sweden, and that train got on a boat.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the boat pulls up. It has tracks on the boat. And the train drives onto the boat. The boat goes across, and then the other side, it links up with the tracks in. I don't think it was actually in Sweden. I think it might have been in Denmark or somewhere, some other Scandinavian country anyway. And then
Clever.
Yeah.
Far more interesting than my train story.
Well, I was hoping it was going to be better. What's your land train story?
I got a land train.
Oh. I
Wow.
thought something good would have been happening on that. They got them at fucking Skegness.
I had a beer.
On the land train?
Yeah.
Well, that's alright, isn't it?
That weren't bad. And then we got it the next day, and the guy only charged us half price because he knew us.
But is it just one of those that went round in circles and you didn't actually go anywhere? You just come back to the same point?
No, it was like a 15-minute journey along the coast to another town.
You could have walked it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Those land trains like go at walking speed.
No, this was like proper booking it, like 15, 20 mile an hour. Like it was not fucking about.
What I like is that you took the positive from that he charged you half price the next day, not that he double fucked you the first day.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is that the land train was good.
Okay, was it bumpy? Most of them usually are. And
A little bit.
uncomfortable.
A little bit.
How long was this land train going for?
Well, it was like 15, 20 minutes.
I feel like you might have walked that in an hour.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it was hot.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have caught the land train.
It sounds like you're saying that just to enrage me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
this is what we do.
okay. Let's round this out then. Cleaves, what did you do this week?
I enjoyed a very quiet time. I painted a fence. I had some fences put up in my house. Or in my
In
garden.
your house?
In my garden.
Yeah,
All right,
in his house, specifically the kitchen.
And I started painting them.
What colour?
Harvest Gold.
Ooh.
Runsill's cheapest of the fence care range. What else is it? Oh, I went to the hospital. I went to have my eyes checked at the hospital. Well, I'd not been in a while, so I thought I'll get going. My left eye's like starting to crap out on me, basically. And I'm losing like central vision in it. And I didn't think I had a nystagmus, but I think that's what might be causing the blurriness in it a little bit. I don't even think it is necessarily a nystagmus, but when I went to the hospital, they do your normal tests. So, you go read the chart or whatever. And I couldn't read the chart very well with my left eye. And then I did the visual fields test. And you press the button every time you see the light.
Mm.
Guess how many I got?
No?
Not many.
Wow. You're both wrong. Well, no, one of you's right. On my right eye, I got a big fat 0.
Oh,
And on my left eye, weirdly, the worst eye, I think I got 2.
dear.
Oddly. I don't know what, I think it's lack of contrast that, like, fucks me up a little bit.
Is it still like a red dot on blue or something?
No, it's just a white dot, but it's on a sort of whitish background.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, okay.
it's basically like a light flashed on a screen, if you like. Almost like a projector screen, but it's more of a bowl.
Oh.
What's weird is like no one. I was walking over to the visual fields place, and the guy was like, "Oh, sorry, can you not see very well?" I'm looking in the fucking eye hospital. Where have you been? I've got this cane. The guy was fucking. Bless him. He seemed nice, but maybe he was just new. I don't know. Anyway, I failed massively at the visual fields test. I can't imagine they would have gained any kind of information from that. Because my actual visual fields aren't, well, they're bad. I've got I've got tunnel vision and stuff, but it's not that I can't see anything. That would have basically said, oh, he's got no field of vision, whereas that's not the case. Then what else did I do? Oh, you get the eye drops put in.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I went and saw the actual for reals. Well, no, I got the GP's assistant. She's like, yeah, blah, 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 it's this and this. And you basically, whatever my light perception cells, etc., they're starting to go in the middle of my left eye as well. So it's just part of the RP, basically. And they're like, oh, also you got cataracts coming on. I was like,
Oh, man.
yeah.
Oh.
So I've got cataracts in both eyes, and the left one's slightly worse than the right. And they've gone, oh yeah. I was like, well, you can just take them out, right? And they're like, yeah, but we like to make sure, well, no, they didn't say this, but what I got from it was, yeah, we like to make sure it gets worse before we take them out. So, if you notice any significant downturns, I'm like, that's kind of why I'm here, then we'll take them out. I think that's what's more likely to be, I'm not a doctor, but what's more likely to be causing a bit of the fuzziness and blurry vision. Oh, and why I said I might have it's not nystagmus, but I think a nystagmus is often a, secondary cause of something else, isn't it? And I think it's the fact that I can't focus on my central vision. When I was looking at the visual fields test, you basically have to focus on a dot in the middle and then just always look at the dot. And then when you see the light coming in from each side, that's when you press the little button. But with my left eye, I could not focus on that dot. I kept wiggling around everywhere.
No.
So that's why I'm starting to think that might be causing a little bit of it as well. But then, so there was that. And I was like, well, sort of already knew a lot of this other than the cataract stuff. And then, I was like, well, what type of RP have I got? And they're like, oh, we don't really know. I'm like, okay. The thing is, I had gene tests done years and years and years ago, which is probably like 15 years ago now. Well, no, probably more, probably close to 20. So they haven't got any of my old records. And that's why they're like, oh, you've got RP. I'm like, yeah, I know that. I know. And they were like, are you registered blind? Yes, I'm registered. Do you want to go see the site? No, I don't. I know all about it. Stop it. Like, I think like, it was my first time, and like they were delivering bad, and she was saying it to me like she was delivering bad news. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I know all of this. I've come here because I thought my left eye's going shit, and you're not telling me anything I don't already know. But then, yeah, she called in the actual doctor. I'm not going to.
Wow.
I don't
take that 7 years of medical training.
Well, she was the, like,
she was a woman. Just say it.
No, it wasn't like
that.
That.
Sweetheart, black coffee, get me the real doctor.
It wasn't like that, but she was clearly new. And then I was like, well, what kind of RP have I got? And she's like, I'm not quite sure. I'll get the
real doctor.
Yeah, I don't want to keep saying it, but the real doctor in to have a look, which he did. And here's an interesting thing. You know, when they you've already got eye drops in and then they shine that massively bright light in your eye.
Usually after the drops and they go, don't blink.
Yeah. That's what went.
The hardest thing to do without the drops.
That's what went down, yeah. But that wasn't my takeaway. My takeaway was, take a fucking Tic Tac or something, because when you're that close to someone's face, I don't want to be smelling like your gross coffee breath or some shit like that. And that's what I took away from that.
That tuna salad.
Oh, grim.
Should have gone during COVID times. Would have had face masks on. Could have been all right.
Yeah, that very good point. But he basically just said the same one as the junior doctor, which was you've got RP, but we can refer you to the genetics clinic again. if you want. I was like, yes, I want to know what RP I've got so I can potentially look up treatments. So I've done that, and they're referring me. And then the junior doctor finished with like, I was like, well, have they got anything that you basically I can do? Is like, is there anything that I can sort of slow the process of it? Like, you know, do I wear sunglasses when it's bright, or, you know, that sort of thing? I was just like, is there anything I can do day to day? And she was like, nah, not really. But, I'm really confident in like AI and stem cells. I'm like, this speech has been rehearsed so many times.
Yeah.
You and the doctor can go eat one, because I know all of it. It was a sort of a pointless trip, but at least I am now getting referred to the genetic clinic, and I can find out what strain of RP I've got and if there is anything more that can be done about it. So it's not the worst in that respect. And also now they are keeping an eye on it again in terms of it maybe starting to get better, but like, you know, in terms of it getting worse, and they'll bump me up the cataract operation list if that does get worse. And that was basically the take home from it. Come back if your cataracts get really worse.
Oh.
Really worse, Jesus. And I am articulate.
Well, on that bitter, sweet... What was it?
Which bit was sweet?
It wasn't sweet. I think it was a very bitter episode. Selina lost at football, I went deaf, and you're getting cataracts. Cha-ching!
We'll be back with happier news next week, I think.
Hope so.
Absolutely. So, until next week, try and find some balance yourself.
Thank you for listening to Seesaw Podcast. Your feedback and comments mean a lot to us, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can do so in the following ways.
You can find us on Twitter at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast, and you can also join us at seesawpodcast.com.
Remember to like, rate, review, and share with a friend.
This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.